Okay, so let's talk about the second pillar of the high note thing. So this is fast air, and or efficient use of air. And so when we're playing and we add air, even if you just blow harder, you're going to go sharp, and eventually you can bump up to the next note. If I'm just playing a G and I just blow harder, it's going to eventually pop up to a C. Without me doing anything with my lips whatsoever, it just is going to go up. Now, there's a lot of transition in there that doesn't sound very good and all that, but the concept is still sound. I want to talk real quick about the whys behind that. I mentioned in one of the earlier videos about Bernoulli's effect. I always love this demo with people who are not familiar with the thing, but so if you blow on the bottom, obviously it acts like a sail and it picks up the air, or sorry, it picks up the paper. And if I blow on the top, you know, I always ask, what's going to happen? I'm like, nothing's going to happen. Well, yeah, you knew. And it creates a low pressure right here. This is Bernoulli's effect. Fast air across the surface creates a low pressure, and it pulls it up. Now, eventually, you can see it go back beyond, and at that point, when it gets too high, you get more pressure from the sail effect, and it pushes it back down. But that's what makes it whip back up. If it's a flag, you get the same thing, and that's what makes it go back and forth and back and forth. Now, what does this have to do with trumpet playing? If we have, let's say this is your bottom lip, and you've got fast air going across this surface, this is going to create a low pressure. And so it's going to pull your bottom lip up. Same thing on the top lip. Fast air across the surface, and it's going to pull the lip down. And the goal on this is that we get our lips in exactly the right proximity, exactly the right distance from the bottom to the top for the amount of air we're using, and then you increase the airspeed. And what happens is that the air pulls those lips together, and they slap against each other and creates a little pop, and then they bounce off of each other, and then more air moves through, and it goes through again and again and again. And at this point, we've got a couple things that are really helping the speed keep going. One of them is the Bernoulli's effect. It's the fast air going across. One of them is the slap against. You keep a lot of the speed, a lot of the momentum when it hits and it bounces back off, and so that the faster your lips are moving, the easier it is to get high notes. And so this is the whole core behind the concept of blowing faster air gets you higher notes. But just blowing harder and getting faster that way is a little bit limiting, because sometimes you don't want to play at a triple forte. You know, yes, the air is faster if you're blowing harder, but there's a lot more efficient ways of doing that, especially if you want to go quiet or if you want to go really, really high. And so we'll talk about that in the next one.